Hello, and thank you for joining me in what will be the last of these goofy little San Clemente videos. As it turns out, we had plenty of images just to do a video about the pier all by itself. So the way when we go down to the coast here, we usually stay at the Dana Point Marina Inn over in the harbor. And we will drive into San Clemente, go to Surfin' Donuts in the south end of town, and then come back and sit in this parking lot above the pier and drink our coffee and eat our donuts, and then figure out what we're going to do with the rest of the day. Sometimes we go tromping down to the pier and catch the path that runs adjacent to the railroad tracks and, do a little hike and work off those donuts and that coffee. But you can see here where we're parked in the parking area up the hill from the pier, and then what we end up doing is tromping down this hill, and it's a pretty good slope down to the pier, and then we'll catch the little footpath along the railroad tracks and go north or south or out to the end of the pier. Doesn't really matter, but as you can see, there's this little grass park area just above the crossover to the pier. So right at the bottom of the hill here, you could go to the right and then you go into the pier. What you're going to see here on the left is the Casa Tropicana, and this is a boutique hotel where my brother likes to stay, and it is right across the street from the pier. From what he says, parking can be a little wonky, so we choose not to stay there when we come into town. Get a little sign outside the Fisherman restaurant. Surf report for October the 20th shows a potential high of 82 degrees. Not too bad for October. Outside of the Fisherman, just to kind of get a stock shot, if you will. And then a picture of the pier looking out from the ocean. You can see in the upper right hand corner there the patio for the Fisherman. Here's a couple shots from the car as we drive around. We tend late in the afternoon to come down to the Fisherman to go to dinner. And so what we do is we drive by the Fisherman, try to get an idea if there's a bunch of people hanging out outside, and see if there's any sort of a wait time. And even if there was, they've got a really, really great oyster bar on the other side of the pier from where the restaurant and the dining is. And if it gets too backed up, we just hang out in there. Again, more shots as we circle around to scope out the Fisherman. We kind of do this little circle that dumps us out right back to the parking lot that we end up parking in anyway, so I'm not sure what the purpose of the circle is, but we do it just because we're silly. Here we are actually sitting out on the patio at the Fisherman, looking out to the end of the pier with the sun going down. Just some really, really terrific views. The food itself at the Fisherman is incredibly average, but wow, there's nowhere else up and down the coast that you get quite the same view as you do from the Fisherman. So the whole experience is all about the ambiance, not so much the cuisine, but it's just really a good time. Now it looks like dinner must be over, and so we're going to go out and have a little walk. We walk toward the end of the pier. I don't know how far out we go because toward the end there's really nothing to see unless you like watching guys fish. Here's a little sunset from the edge of the pier, and now looking back to the shoreline from out on the pier. Look at the lifeguard station or offices. Nice for all these surfer folks to turn and face the camera as I take their picture. But again, this is late evening or early evening, late afternoon, where they're out surfing. Quick shot to the south toward T Street. That's the bridge that goes over the tracks from the parking lot, and we'll plop you down on the beach proper. And then everybody surfs T Street. Now a shot to the north. Looks like we're trying to catch one particular surfer. Anyway, another shot back to the north toward the lifeguard station. And now as sun really starts to set, you get some really, really great sunset pictures. Just the way the lights on the pier reflect off the ocean in those really nice intervals, it just looks fantastic. Back to the fishermen and the entrance to the pier. Again, lights kind of coming up stronger, so things are highlighted a little better. Just that little bit of the fence line being lit up, it is just, I don't know, I like it. It appeals to me. The waves look kind of calm. They're just kind of coming in almost dutifully. As if, yes, the ocean realizes that we expect to see waves coming in, and so here you go. Again, now the light's a little brighter at the entrance to the pier, but again, I just think these are really, really interesting shots. Looks like we've got somebody on the right of frame here. They're in our movie as they're filming theirs, so yay for us. A little grainy, I apologize. As much as I'd love to say, oh, the fog's rolling in, that's why it looks so grainy. No, I don't know why it looks grainy, but I apologize. Obviously, I just can't get enough of the lights along the pier on the water and all that. It's just so great. And here's the lifeguard station all lit up with the clock tower lit up. Again, I think looking down toward Dana Point in the background. Again, personally, I just think this is really a great shot. Little boat all by itself I thought was interesting. Just out in the water, minding its own business. This right here is my favorite shot. There's just something about it that I just love. The light and the fence and the footpath and the water in the background. I just can't get enough. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. And the next video we're going to do is all about Dana Point Harbor and Doheny Beach. As I say, we like to stay at the Dana Point Marine Inn, so we've got about hundreds of shots of the marina itself and the surrounding area. So look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much.